Happy Lunar Eclipse Day. Oh my goodness, lots of energy shaking things up. So let's jump right in. If you haven't been aware yet, there was a lunar eclipse in the wee hours of the morning for those in Eastern Standard Time, about 3 a.m. For those on the West Coast, it was around 1. And then, of course, wherever you are around the world, you can adjust. But for those in the North American area, a lot of us were sleeping during that eclipse. And when you sleep during a moment, well, let's even just talk about an eclipse really quickly. Eclipses are here to shake things up. They're here to help us see things that we might not otherwise have seen. It's kind of like a dirty windshield. When we're driving a long distance, you get a lot of bugs on it, a lot of dust, dirt, and grime. And then the light changes a little bit. Maybe you think you're seeing things. Maybe you're like, oh, I need to clean the windshield. It's gotten really dirty. So you run the little windshield cleaner. And then all of a sudden, you start to see things differently. It's seeing them in a different light by the moonlight. The shadows affect things differently. Information rises to the surface. I call it, and I created a whole masterclass around it called Shifting for Gold. And the idea is that a lot of shifts happen. Eclipses are here to shift or shake things up so that you can step into the life you were really called to. So it gets you back on track if you somehow wandered off. It's kind of like that beautiful quote, and I can't remember who said it, but the cracks in the walls, that's where the light is able to come through. So what might look like it's broken or might look like it's crumbling down, it's meant to happen so that you can see things in a different light, so that you can reconnect with the path you're meant to be on. Eclipses this time of year, we get it twice a year, the eclipse season. And they come in pairs. So we have another big one coming April 8th. That's a solar eclipse, new moon. Full moon eclipse, which we just had this morning, lunar eclipse as it's known, is letting go and releasing. So we kicked off this eclipse season, and it doesn't always have to be a full moon that kicks it off, but we did with this one. It's about letting go. So you might find that with this eclipse, things are shaking and shifting in such a way that new information is coming to light. What you once thought was the path, you realize, oh, well, now that I have this information, I might have to reassess. It's time for me to question. It's kind of why I use that to title this time to question everything, because we have new information coming in. The other thing about this eclipse is that it takes place in the energy of Libra. The moon is in Libra, the sun is in Aries. So it's this beautiful axis of individual egos and friendships and partnerships and relationships, and finding that divine right balance between honoring your intentions behind honoring your ego. Ego is not a bad thing when it's in a high vibrational expression, because what it is it's celebrating your unique identity. And I do believe that part of the reason we came from the heavens above was to experience that individuality. And yet still remember, we are connected to everyone around us, and that our actions do have an effect. So we just start to see things differently and question them. The other reason I bring this up is that the moon shows up in a place that can also very much stimulate the mind. Libra is in an element of air, and air is associated with the thoughts. So if you find yourself a little more anxious, if you find yourself questioning, going round and round and round, trying to analyze and figure things out, again, when we go to that time to question everything, there is a process that I want to bring you through today to help you with that, because it's kind of two sides to the scale again. We'll use that Libra analogy. It's important to question everything, but at some point, you'll just keep running around in circles if you just keep questioning and questioning and questioning. Like at some point, you have to make a decision, or you have to come to an understanding and move on to the next thing. So how do you do that? How do you go from just completely giving your power away and listening to whatever anyone has to say, myself included, to continuing to question nonstop? Where's that balance? Where's the fulcrum? Well, that comes in through a process really of discernment, viveka, the yogis call it. And how do you practice discernment? Well, you practice it through grounding. And I'll bring us through a specific technique for this, as well as helping you find the answers you're searching for, because it's important The thing about the Libra energy is it needs to feel in divine right balance, a divinely balanced energetic exchange. If something feels off, it's going to tarnish the whole experience. So let's jump in. First, we're going to start with a card reading for the week ahead. And I'm going to just invite you to place your hand on your heart and tune into your energy and ask, what's the most important thing that you need to know for the week ahead? And it jumps right out. Three of Pentacles. Who are your people? Who is your group? Where do you belong? The Three of Pentacles is about bringing, let me put it this way. Sometimes it can be seen as seeking out the advice of an expert in a field. Sometimes it means coming together and working as a group and a community towards a shared goal, a common achievement that everybody wants to bring into being. But what I love is that it is about laughter and fun and creating something physical and tangible and realizing you're not alone on this journey. You have friends right here on earth, and you have friends in high places, as I call them, your angels and your guides. And it's important that you call on them, that before you make any big shifts or decisions, to lean on those that you trust, to go to an expert for advice. Because here's the other thing with eclipse energy, we want to be mindful because it can be a bit chaotic and a bit unexpected. So making big decisions, we're also getting ready to go into a Mercury retrograde, starts April 1st. So making big decisions and big shifts right now, we want to be mindful because we may not be making them from a grounded, discerned place where we're in our heart. Now, if you go through the process, and I will bring you through it, then you're going to find that it's much easier to make the decision even now if you really feel that you need to. So here, let's go through this right now. I just invite you to take your seat, and you can have eyes open or closed, and bring your awareness into the very center of your chest, your heart space, and take a breath. The breath is key. The breath is prana, our life force, our energy. And if you're holding your breath, it's a good sign that something's off. So take a deep breath. Just like water conducts energy, electricity with such ease, the breath as well helps conduct the intuition, your connection to spirit. You are in spirit when you breathe. So breathe. Nice, deep breath. Good. And as you breathe, your awareness there in the center of your chest, you can even place your hand on your heart. I want to invite you to imagine dropping a beautiful green light, like a little cord. You're anchoring here in place, a little grounding cord, like you have a flashlight on the end of your tailbone, and you're just shining a beautiful green light down through the pelvic floor, down between the legs, down through any floors beneath your feet. Good. Down. The thing is if we're doing this, I'm bringing through some extra energy, clearing for ancestral lineage on left side. We're bringing this green light down through to the earth beneath you, through 6 layers of earth, the topsoil, where nutrients can be found to help our food grow, down through the subsoil where the trees speak to one another, through the mycelium, that beautiful fungal network, down through a layer of granite like a warm knife through butter, down through a layer of fire where water can be found, oil, shale. Breathe. Down this beautiful green grounding cord moves through a layer of crystals. Here we go. Feel the shift in the throat. Down this green grounding cord moves through a layer of fire. And then to the very core of Mother Earth, the heartbeat of Gaia, the Schumann resonance. It is that beautiful frequency, the Schumann resonance, that helps create or connect all living things. So for a moment, just allow this pulsation, this rhythm of the earth, beautiful frequency that earth sends out into the cosmos. That's a part of you. That's a part of the trees. That's a part of the cars and the rocks. Allow it to permeate through your being. To remind you you're not alone on this journey. Beautiful. Take one more deep breath. And then bring a beautiful, stabilizing green earth energy from the earth beneath you up through all these wonderful layers of earth. Layer of fire and crystals and magma and granite and subsoil and topsoil, all the way up through the floors beneath you, up through the soles of the feet, around the feet, allowing the energy to do as it needs to. It's very intelligent. Up it comes around calves and knees and thighs, where it makes its way to the hips. And the physical body gives permission for earth energy to mix. And up it comes all the way through lower belly, upper belly, steadying, grounded, discerning energy. Comes all the way up into the heart, to the little area behind the heart. Beautiful. Breathe in more of yourself, your higher self, your soul. Your soul is bigger than the physical body. The physical body fills up maybe like the big toe of the soul. So when you breathe in more of your soul, you become more discerning. You have less of other people's ideas and opinions and agendas trying to push you into a certain action. So you breathe in more of your soul. And this is just imagination and intention. Might feel like you're making it up. That's okay. You just play along, a little suspension of disbelief, because as you do this, you should be moving into a place of discernment so that you can listen from a place to see if it rings true for you, what I'm sharing. And as you breathe in more of your soul in through the crown, the head, the back of the throat, into the heart space and into the back of the heart. Good. Clearing any energy at the back of the neck that has kept you in a certain space. Good. And with the gaze towards the floor, gently, gently open the eyes. How are you feeling? So discernment, ground. When I started my pathway of energy, my energy teacher for the first 3 years, it was like the only assignment I got was ground. It's like, I'm ready for the next lesson. Ground. Wax on, wax off. Do I even get there? No, ground. Because when we're grounded, we're in a place where, when I say question everything, what it means is we're taking in the energy and the information. And as we do, we digest it. We try it on for size. We practice it. We're open to ideas. Oh, sure, asparagus. All right, I'll try it again. Really don't like this, but let me try it your way. And then you find out, oh, it's delicious. I really love it roasted, not like in a jar. So you're taking the information in. You're seeing if it fits you. Does it fit me? Is it really me? But what happens when we're in a group, like group mind, collective energy can take over and people can lose themselves. So become an observer. Watch yourself when you're in the larger groups. I had a wonderful workshop, deep dive immersion that I did this weekend in astrology. And it's always fun to do that. But it's also interesting to watch how, as a class and a group, it's so easy to get swept up in a certain type of energy if we aren't grounded. And so just watch yourself and observe. Make sure you're grounded before you take action. All right. If you have any questions on that, please pop them into the comments. And if you want a more guided version of that, I call it the root flesh fill, you can click on the link around the video to get that. Okay, so let's dive into this week. Let's talk more about the moon. All right, I go to my handy dandy Inside of the Moon journal. And if you don't have one yet, why not? All right, so click on the link around here too for that. The Inside of the Moon Journal. Why do I love this? Well, it helps me keep track of what the moon's doing, and the moon affects us on a daily basis. And when I can look, what I'm doing here is I'm collecting data so that I can look to the past and say, oh, when the moon is in Libra, I'm really weighing my options. I'm looking at different directions, what's next best steps. Am I being just and fair in my decisions and choices? And then I might know when the moon is in Cancer, oh, I'm really tired. My heart feels really sensitive. I really don't want to go out in the world. I want to be at home. When I know these things about myself, because I've written and collected the data of just how I'm feeling, not what the books tell me to feel, or a person or a teacher or a guru or a coach, then I can say, oh, I can discern. I can really tune in and figure out this is how this type of moon affects me. It might affect them differently, similar vein, but I don't have to beat myself up if I don't want to go out and play when the moon is in Cancer. Doesn't mean I don't always, but sometimes I really want to be home. So where I go to when I go with the Inside of the Moon Journal, it's dateless. You can jump in and out anywhere you want to, but we're going to start off right here with the week ahead. So I always set an intention for the week, and I haven't really felt into my top 3 yet. So we'll talk through that. A crystal that I use for the week, the rose quartz. And where do I get these things? Even the ritual that I'm going to use for the week? Well, I get them because every month has a ritual and a set of practices attached to it. And this month is Soul Friends, Adam Kara, and the crystal is rose quartz. So for this month, I'm just really connecting with the rose quartz crystal. It's with me on my desk. I have it nearby. You can even slide it in your bra. It just reminds me to be compassionate and loving in my decisions. Compassionate and loving towards myself, to those around me, to really be thoughtful when I make a choice. And I can say, I open my heart to be a channel of love. So for me, that's an affirmation I think about this week. And then one of the sacred practices that I'm going to be doing, I come here to the sacred rituals, is I'm going to be doing this hand gesture, the Padma Mudra, and I'm going to walk you through that along with some breath work. So at the beginning of every week, I just choose which one of those practices resonates most with me. So that's what I'm going to do here. But for the rest of the week, I come in here and I color in my moons according to their cycle. So full moon this Monday, March 28th, 2024. And we actually started with full moon eclipse in the wee hours of the morning, and it's in Libra. And Tuesday, the moon's also going to be in Libra. Now, what does that mean? Well, in the morning, I write down my mood. So today I really am about practicing balance, trying to make sure I'm balanced in all of the things I do, the sleep I'm getting, the food I'm eating, the exercise, the work time, the rest time, all of those things. I'm questioning, I'm looking, I'm asking. So full moon in Libra is about weighing your options, seeing things from all directions. So today and Tuesday, give yourself some time to really feel into the energetic exchange of things. Does it feel in divine right balance? Are you working longer hours and not getting enough sleep? That's out of balance. It's not energetically aligned. It's not an even energetic exchange. Maybe you have been staying up late and you haven't been getting the sleep, or maybe you haven't been able to prepare healthy meals and you're just grabbing whatever's off the shelf because you've been doing more running your kids around or volunteer work or supporting friends. And you say, you know what? I need to make sure I take at least one of those hours back to food prep. So Monday and Tuesday, you're just evaluating, where am I giving energy? Where am I receiving energy? Does it feel in divine right balance, or is something off? Where do I need to make an adjustment? And with the scales, with Libra, it's a very, how do I want to say? The emotions aren't involved, which I love. So I invite you to really use this time to be able to make decisions and choices and not have the emotions get in the way and make it difficult to think, am I being logical and practical about this? Because Libra will help you with that. And as soon as you feel that divine, right, energetic exchange, you're going to be able to make that choice. Okay, so then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, moon is in Scorpio. Now, what to note also is that the moon is moving from moving from that full moon today through waning gibbous. So it's just helping us release and let go. Scorpio has this tendency to want to just bury and dig deep. But when it does, it can find things, find information, find insights that give you information on what you're doing and where you're going. So here's what I mean by that. Let's say with the Scorpio energy this week, you find yourself, okay, ready to clean out certain areas of your closet, ready to clean up your desktop, so to speak, and you find an old document. You're like, wow, I had been looking for this. I totally forgot about it. And it reminds me, maybe it's an old journal entry about something you were passionate. And you're like, you know what? This was really a dream and a goal of mine. And I just lost sight of it because life got in the way. So that Scorpio energy can bring things to the surface. It can shed light on areas that might have been hidden or in the dark. So with this eclipse energy and with the letting go energy, I encourage you Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to kind of just clean up your office space, to clean up your home, to clean up your feelings, your thoughts, your ideas, so that you can find the insights that have been blocked by the clutter. There's a fun story that one of my teachers told. She had a student come to her once and he said, oh, I just would really, really love to find a partner in this life. And he hadn't found his partner, his soulmate yet. And he was really kind of sad about that. And my teacher said to him, you know what, go home and clean out a junk drawer. And he's like, wait a second, I came to you for a reading for some advice on what I should do to find the love of my life. And she's like, yeah, go home and clean out your junk drawer. And he was like, okay. And then she said, and then we'll set up another session. You come back and you tell me what you find. And he's like, all right. So he goes home, he cleans out the junk drawer. And as he does, he's going through and he notices he had gotten an invitation to his 30-year high school reunion. And he thought, oh, well, I wasn't going to go. They're having it on, some location where I'd have to travel. I don't live near home anymore. I don't know that I want to go. And so he called the teacher back up and he's like, yeah, I didn't find much. I just found this invitation to the high school reunion. And she said, well, are you going to go? And he said, no, of course not. She said, you need to go. And so he went begrudgingly and ran into his old lab partner from, back in the days in science class. And anyway, romance was in the air and he did find his partner. So this is the kind of thing, we have these big questions and it's such a mundane thing like, oh, go wash the dishes, go chop wood, carry water. But in this energy of waning gibbous, of letting go, of being able to use the Scorpio energy to go into the sides that we maybe sometimes don't always want to because they're uncomfortable. Maybe it's feelings that we've really tucked down and we don't want to examine. Scorpio moon will help really well. Then Saturday and Sunday, moon moves into Sagittarius. That's fun and adventurous. You might feel within you this desire to go out and explore, to have a little adventure, to, I was going to say cause some trouble, but not like in a bad way, but just stir things up. It's spontaneity. I would encourage you, get the heavy lifting done at the beginning of this week so that you have fun time left to just play and enjoy yourself as the weekend comes up. Mercury is going retrograde a week from today on April Fools. So just preparing. Mercury retrograde just means you're doing more inward work, more reflection, more retuning, refining, readjusting, reviewing, all the things that have to do with your thoughts, with communication. It's happening through Aries. So it's a lot about again, going back to your will and your ego. So you're just refining things. Where have you been valuing yourself and really shining? Where have you been selling yourself short? Where have you been holding back? Maybe where have you been pushing too much? You're just kind of going through the experience as the observer, noticing and watching, and then making the shifts as you go. Because ultimately, your beautiful spirit who is here with a very important mission and calling. I do believe that. And part of the joy is finding out what that is along the way. Some of you might already know, but making sure that if you do know even, to stay true to that path, that it is in integrity with your heart. So thank you so much for coming to play today. It took a slightly different route than I thought. Oh, and I didn't pull a card for each day this week. So I don't want to hold you guys too long, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that because I am feeling called to do that. Card for each day this week. So if you have time to hang on for like another 2 minutes, it'd be great to have you. Thanks for playing. And I'm going to just shuffle the star cards. I love these guys. So as you tune in, we're just going to say and ask, what is the most important thing that you need to know about Monday's energy? Ooh, Scorpio. Investigate. There you go. So that's Scorpio energy telling you that it's okay to investigate. So with the Libra moon, and that Three of Pentacles card that came up earlier, what this tells me is before you make any big life decisions or choices, do your due diligence, do your research, investigate. And, if you can wait a couple of weeks before you make those big choices and decisions, all the better, because things will settle after the eclipses. The choices that we make right now, here's what I want to say, the actions that follow. The choices that you make right now are letting the universe know where your heart rests. But do your due diligence, do your research, and then you can take your action once things start to settle down in a couple of weeks. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Tuesday, we're going to tune into Tuesday's energy and just ask, how can you make the most of Tuesday's moon? Okay, Mars, motion. So here's the action. I love it. So as the moon wraps in Libra, here's what I'm going to say about this. No more going round and round and round in your head anymore. Now it's time to show the universe, okay, I've come to a decision point. I have the information. I know which direction I'm going to go. And you just show the universe that you're serious. You can take one small action. It doesn't have to be, what do I want to say, blowing everything up just yet, as sometimes Scorpio likes to do. But instead, with that Mars energy, it just is that fire within you to finally do the thing that you may have been scared of doing. Okay. So Wednesday, as we tune into Wednesday's energy, what's the most important thing you need to know about Wednesday? Jupiter, abundance, beautiful. So Jupiter is expansion. Wednesday's energy with the moon, and we are officially in Scorpio then, it is about being able to feel the abundance, to tune into the gratitude. So as you're doing the work, if it gets uncomfortable of like the letting go, the decluttering, cleaning, clearing, even the questioning or having feelings come up that you've been trying to ignore, practice the art of gratitude so that it's easier to release. So there's, I think it's Marie Kondo, right? She holds an object and she says, thank you so much for blessing me. It's been so one, and I don't know exactly what she says, but you can make up your own variation of this. But it's like, thank you for blessing my life. I'm releasing you now. And I'm so excited that you'll be able to bless someone else's life now. And it's kind of that energy of gratitude on Wednesday so that it makes it easier. So it's like, don't cry for, how does that saying go? It's like, laugh and celebrate because of the memories we've made. Don't cry because of what's being let go of. I said that very ineloquently. Okay, Thursday's energy. What's the most important thing you need to know about Thursday? All right, so some tension. So square, semi-square, quincunx. So this is, you are making adjustments for the better. This is helping improve stress levels. It's helping boost your immunity, help with your health, because when we are in a period of tension and a lot of stress, as quincunxes are, it's saying something needs to be readjusted. It needs to be refined because it's stressing you the heck out. And clutter can do that, right? Or not being able to find that important paper, or being in a relationship where you haven't been able to fully speak in a way where you've shared your emotions and feelings, or you haven't had a chance to process the emotions and feelings. This is saying, it gets uncomfortable. We're doing something new. We're doing something that's deeper, that Scorpio has the strength and the ability to support you with, that you might have otherwise kind of just, I don't want to do that now. I'm too busy. I'll deal with that later. My grandmother had a great phrase, which I love. Temporarily, she was a Scorpio, and she would say, just throw yourself into work, throw yourself into work, throw yourself into work. And comes from the Victorian times. And it works. Heck, it works. It's wonderful. So you keep the momentum and you don't get stuck in paralysis and just dismay and depressed. Oh, what am I going to do? You create the momentum, you create the movement. But sometimes in order to do that, you stuff down the feelings. And what Scorpios tend to do is they blow. And when they blow, it is annihilation. Usually everything's destroyed and there's no coming back. They burn the bridges down. So before you get to the blow, I invite you to take a deep breath. And as the big feelings come up, allow them to come up through the tummy. So you're just breathing in and you exhale through the mouth. Okay. All right. Friday's energy. So as we get into Friday's energy, moon's still in Scorpio. I want to double check myself. Okay. What's the most important thing you need to know? The sun. That's it. One of the signs my angels always give me when things feel kind of heavy and I'm questioning, what am I doing? Where am I going? Am I on the right path with my choices and decisions? I'll hear that wonderful song by George Harrison, Here Comes the Sun. It's kind of like there's always a rainbow after the rain. Casey Musgraves has a song like that. I love that. So look to the rainbow. Have you guys seen Finian's Rainbow? That used to be my favorite when I was little. I haven't watched it in a bajillion years, so it may not have aged well. But look to the rainbow. Oh my goodness. So there's hope. There's hope on the horizon. So after you go through that tension and kind of discomfort on Thursday, the sun is there. It's coming, right? And then of course, Annie, the sun will come out tomorrow. Oh, love that one. Oh, I get chills. It's a song day. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Saturday's energy. So the moon moves into Sagittarius. What's the most important thing that you need to know? Lots jumping out. Activate. So the solar flare energy. This week, you have the ability, Monday and Tuesday, to look at things from all angles, weigh your options. Hello, Libra. Make just and fair decisions where it feels like it's in divine right relationship and harmony. And then on, I'm seeing some of the comments, so I got distracted, sorry. And then on midweek, when do we change? I want to make sure I get this right. Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, as the moon is in Scorpio, you go deep. So you're investigating, you're doing the deeper work, you're looking, you're discerning, you're clearing. The sun comes out at the end of the week. And then Saturday, you are activating. You're integrating all of this energy. You're just letting it synthesize within you the information that you found. And yes, the Rainbow Connection. I feel like that is my theme song. That's almost like my mission. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. I love that, right? Some have heard that sweet song Calling. Oh, I just love it. It speaks to my soul. Yes, Rainbow Connection. Happy full moon, Hannah. So great to have you. All right, so Sunday's energy. What's most important to know? Dignified strength. So this really tunes into the energy where you are strong, where you feel like it's kind of like walking with a pebble in your shoe. It's not so bad initially. You can put up with it. You can kind of ignore it. Not a big deal. But then eventually, you just, it'll wear you down. It's going to feel like the most painful thing. And when you release whatever has been out of alignment, whatever has been skewing your vision, you're going to find the strength. You'll be like, wow, I didn't know it could feel this in alignment, that things could flow with this ease. We recently got a new hot water heater, and I knew our other one wasn't so great, but I didn't realize how much it was not great. Because when we have our new hot water heater now, it's like, oh, I am so thankful for hot water. Because I'd say, this doesn't feel hot. My husband's like, oh, it is hot. It is fine. I don't know about you, but there's something so beautiful about a hot shower. And now, like, I used to be able to take hot showers with the handle all the way to the hottest, and it would get cold, like after a few minutes. And I'd be like, this is ridiculous. And everybody else in the house is like, it's fine. It's you. And I thought, all right. And then I was complaining at my uncle's house because he has a great shower. And my uncle and my aunt, and I was like, oh, it's great. And he said, well, when was the last time you checked your hot water heater? Like how old is it? I was like, it's a little old. Hello. I can't see everybody's name. Sometimes it says Facebook user if you haven't given permission, but Eleanor, is that you? I see a little XX. My Irish friends who always, I love that. Like bees. My French friends, bisous, bees. So thank you so much for coming and tuning in. It was a long time today. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments. I'll come back and take a look. If this has been helpful, please do share this with a friend and hit that like, subscribe button. It's very, very helpful. Oh, yes, it is you, Eleanor. See, I knew. Thank you so much for the little beautiful shamrock and sharing that. It's so cool, right? So it's about intuition, right? I could sense your energy, Eleanor, and that hello. You're not, how do I want to say? I have other wonderful friends who pop on who do similar signatures. I love seeing that, but Somehow your energy, it's encoded even in just the hello. And that is something that's so important to know, that whatever we do things with, the energy that we do them with, people feel. We may not say it. We may think, oh, I'm putting on a great performance, I'm putting on a great show, but the energy behind it's felt, especially by an intuitive, by an empath, someone like yourself, a curious seeker. Have a great week. It's so much fun hanging out with you all like this. I'll catch you soon. Lots and lots of love. Mwah! Happy eclipse. Bye, guys.